I have to do this at every conference. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, great. We don't have to get coffee shipped in here. So I am Kian Colestock. I'm the Interim Chief Information Officer for UC Irvine. And I'd like to welcome you to our first TechnoExpo in over 12 years. So, as I was writing the thoughts that I wanted to talk about today, I was thinking about what has changed in the last 10 years for technology on campus. And so I put together a couple of slides. A lot of us may not have been here, like myself, over the last 10 years, but a lot of us have. And it's interesting to look at all the things that have really changed on the campus. So, first and foremost, the last decade, the campus continues to mature into a world-class organization. The needs of IT on campus continue to be demanding. To meet that demand, IT needs to evolve from a distributed localized model to an enterprise model. And we've been undertaking that journey for the last 10 years, and we continue to make great progress. Taking advantages of efficiencies, effectiveness, and centralization. Over the last 10 years, in 2009, we had 7 separate data centers on campus running technology, all with different levels of reliability, robustness, security. We had things running in server closets. The power was cut, so was the service. Now we have one consolidated data center on 24/7 power, cooling technology, and it's now available, and it's been available as a service for campus to move and run and host its infrastructure. We had 3 separate help desks 10 years ago. We had a network and academic computing help desk. We had an administrative computing help desk, and we had a ResNet help desk. Now we have one service desk for the whole campus, not just helping you with issues, but actually helping you with our menu of services and helping you find the services you need for your faculty, student, or staff role. And then lastly, departments on non-standard desktop systems. We now have one standard system and email and calendar system, and it's Exchange and Office 365. That is a huge difference. And over in the communication and collaboration booth, we also have G Suite and other similar tools available to anyone to use on campus. Moving forward to the next set of information is systems and infrastructure over the last 10 years have been refactored and upgraded significantly. Just 10 years ago, we were running on 1950s technology in an IBM mainframe. Now we have an enterprise financial system that is processing $40 billion in transactions every year, twice as many as 10 years ago. For electronic document management, we now have 9 million scanned documents per year and 10 million documents stored in our FileNet enterprise system, another booth at the expo today. And we recently implemented DocuSign in partnership with DFA, and over a couple of months, we now have thousands of users of DocuSign. So this is part of our digital transformation journey for sure, and there's a lot more adoption on the digital electronic document management side of things. And then lastly, I wanted to call out something that is somewhat obscure when it started, but now it is a system-wide service. UC Recruit is a system that UCI designed and built to manage faculty recruitment And now it's a system-wide service that the entire campus set is using, and we're hosting it for the whole system. Not only that, but the data that comes out of this system is unique in its purpose and existence, and it's used in research and citations today by faculty, and faculty looking at diversity metrics. So let's look at another enabling university business and adoption and growth. The number of mobile devices registered to our network has doubled in the last 10 years. The number of devices that faculty, student, and staff have, 200,000 devices are plugged into our network at any given time during the year. Online storefronts, virtually non-existent 10 years ago. Now we have a standard platform for accepting payments and over 500 online storefronts across the campus. WordPress sites, virtually niche and non-existent 10 years ago. Now we have over 3,000 unique websites served from our central platform for campus. Again, another booth at the expo today. And then looking over here is a sample of other tools that you can take a look at in booths over in the data warehouse area. Cognos, our central business intelligence and reporting analytics tool, over 1,000 users versus 0 10 years ago. Compass, an offshoot of Cognos. Student Success Analytics, now in all the academic schools, available to deans and advisors to provide tailored student advisory services based on data that we didn't have 10 years ago. And then lastly, DocuSign, the aforementioned electronic signature technology. In several months, almost 6,000 users have accumulated on this tool that's rapidly spreading across the campus. So let's talk about data transfer and networking. Let's not forget security. Security has completely exploded as a threat and as something we provide to campus. We now are blocking 1.4 billion malicious connections per week versus 10 years ago. Now, security is an interesting thing because it's something that really starts with you, and you can find out more at the 4 different security and identity booths at the back corner over here. But in reality, security is personal and security is central, and the two have to work together. Our speed to the network increased significantly over the last 10 years, and we also have a 100 gigabit connection for researchers and research data transfer. And it's called LightPath, and it's been available for several years now, and that is available over in the networking and communications booth. And then lastly, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the new services being rolled out by the Research Cyber Infrastructure Center. Over on the back end of the conference, you can talk to the RCIC group. The campus research storage pool now has 2.8 petabytes of available campus storage for campus researchers. And they opened for business on that new service several months ago, and they would be happy to talk to you. And then lastly, on the conversation of data, the campus has an insatiable thirst for data. I think everyone would agree with that. And we have spent an enormous amount of time planning and pouring in all kinds of new data sources into our data warehouse. This conference is hopefully going to help us instruct on what is available and what tools are available for campus. You can see over the last 10 years, we have 60% more data stores than we started in 2009. We have 20 times more data than we did 10 years ago. And an enormous amount of tools on top of that. 200 gigabytes, 4 terabytes today, and we're headed north. We continue to build in new data stores and tie these different data dimensions together so that we can make better decisions as a campus. And then lastly, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that everything I just covered here is here today. And I'm putting up a map of the expo today so that you can see where some of the booths are, some of the topics are. If you want to go and find out how to do something or how your personal department could use some of the tools, we have intentionally structured this conference so that it's demo and live demonstration wherever possible. But please come up to myself, come up to Katie, the organizer, come up to your booth attendees with questions. We will be happy to guide you through the process of understanding how to use some of this new technology.